Developing a strong core, six-pack, marketing term, you need to train it directly. And one of my favorite exercises to do for this is some form of sit-up, whether it's a decline bench sit-up or a GHD sit-up, because it gets extension, so stretching through your abs, which is great for a muscle building stimulus. But then you're also coming in and getting that full range of motion to train the rectus abdominis as you go through. And you've also got ability to add weight to the exercise. So you can hold a dumbbell here, or you can hold a plate behind you to get some further leverage and challenge to the abs. It's just better than doing high rep ab sets. For some reason, people put the abs as an exercise that requires no additional weight. You just have to do high reps beyond the recommended 30 for hypertrophy. Absolutely no modicum of effort relative to failure. You're not tracking it in any way at all. Those are what you shouldn't do. I mean, you can do that if you don't want gains, but often that's the easiest way to understand what not to do. So for me, a full range of motion type of ab exercise that's overloading the anterior core is great. Much better than a isometric ab exercise, your planks and all that stuff. Great in their own right for anti-extension, anti-rotation, but as a muscle builder, you want full range, you want load, you want effort, and you want a frequency of a few times per week so that you're able to actually stimulate and grow.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go cable crunch. And this is an area that I will fully admit that I even said publicly I had bad ab genetics for. Turns out I just wasn't really training them. So go figure. And so when I started doing the sit-ups, similar to how you mentioned, and then doing a cable crunch where I'm really focused on keeping everything in the abs, super, super helpful. So I came from a distance running background. And so when you're running, you do have a lot of hip flexor involved in order to bring the leg forward every single stride. So I actually have pretty strong hip flexors, like a lot of hill sprints where you're really driving the legs up. And so my TFL is actually weirdly developed still, even though I don't run anymore, right? Like that area is just very strong. And the downside of that is that when you're doing cable crunches, you can use the hip flexors very actively, right? And so it's another aspect of, oh, you have a strong point, it takes away from what you're trying to train, the weak point. And so I've had to be very conscious of trying to keep the hips fixed and then having it all be in the abs, in the torso.
Yeah, because the hip flexors take over when you just hinge at the torso. Yes. A really helpful abs cue is trying to bring your breastplate xiphoid process. I'm using some science terms here to show that I understand anatomy. Your breastplate down towards your pubic symphysis, so towards your groin. Yep. Trying to close the space and just flex every spinous process down into a real spinal crunch.
Yep. And if I had access to some kind of machine crunch, that might be a good option. I haven't done them much. I've done them 1 or 2 times when traveling or something, and it has felt good where it kind of keeps the hips more fixed, and then it kind of forces you to use that.
Jeff, you've been training all wrong. That's the first exercise people going to the gym. I'm trying to lose my tummy fat.
Oh, yeah,
and I'm trying to spot reduce this little pouch that I've got here. So I jumped straight on the crunch machine. So you've been doing it wrong, man.
Yeah, if only I had access to that.
Man, you would actually look like you lift. If you want to keep learning, there's plenty more videos for you to watch with yours truly, FitnessFAQs, and the mastermind of hypertrophy, Professor, the gargantuan, ginormous Geoffrey Verity Schofield. So check out some more of this content over here.